Tension is rising in Abuja, and all eyes are now on Aso Rock. Something big is unfolding, a story that mixes politics, justice, and the power of international attention. Many people in Nigeria and even beyond are talking about one name again, Nnamdi Kanu. The man whose case has tested Nigeria's legal system for years is back in the headlines. And now, the heat has reached the presidency itself. Reports are flying that America is showing interest in what is happening. And Justice James Omotosho, the judge handling the case, has suddenly become one of the most talked about figures in the country. As you listen, please take a second to like this video and subscribe so you never miss detailed stories like this. We go deep into the facts, not just the noise. Now let's get into the heart of the gist. The Federal High Court in Abuja recently resumed proceedings in the long-running trial of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, or IPOB. Kanu's name has been surrounded by controversy for years. For some, he is a freedom fighter. For others, he is a man who pushed the limits of the law. But one thing everyone agrees on is this. His case touches the very core of Nigeria's unity and how justice is managed in a democratic state. During the latest sittings, something unexpected happened. Kanu's lawyers made procedural decisions that caught many by surprise. At one point, Kanu himself chose to represent his own interest directly, challenging the court's authority and raising legal arguments about jurisdiction. Justice Omotosho responded firmly. He set clear rules and strict deadlines. He warned that if the defense failed to act within the given time, the court might proceed without their case. And that is exactly where the story turned. The judge later declared the defense foreclosed, meaning the court would move forward to consider judgment based on what was already presented by the prosecution. For anyone watching, this was a huge turning point. If you are enjoying this breakdown, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Your support helps us bring balanced analysis, not gossip. Now, that ruling has created serious reactions. Supporters of Kanu say it limits his right to a full defense. Government officials argue that due process was followed. The tension has spilled into the public arena. Some groups in the southeast are calling for his release. Others are demanding that the government stand firm. It is a delicate situation. As this was happening, another layer entered the scene: international attention. Reports emerged that American legal experts, or at least US-based lawyers, were showing interest in Kanu's case. Some were said to be preparing documents, others offering advice or public commentary on whether Nigeria's legal process is fair. That alone changed the tone of the conversation. Suddenly, it wasn't just a local matter anymore. People started asking, why is America watching this case so closely? It's important to make something clear. There is no sign that the US government is intervening directly. What has been discussed so far are legal concerns and human rights observations from people in the US legal community. But in politics, perception is powerful. Once the story of America joins the fight for Kanu's release hit social media, it spread like wildfire. Commentators began asking whether the presidency was feeling the pressure, and the phrase "tension in Aso Rock" began trending again. Inside Nigeria, the debate has widened. Critics of the government have accused President Tinubu's administration of not handling the matter transparently. They say the continued detention of Kanu fuels unrest in the southeast and weakens the country's unity message. On the other hand, government defenders say the law must take its course, no matter who is involved. And in the middle of all this sits Justice Omotosho, who must balance legal precision with enormous public scrutiny. Let's pause for a second. If you appreciate how we're breaking down this story clearly and calmly, please like this video right now and subscribe so you'll always get updates as events unfold. Back to the matter. The courtroom drama has now reached a crucial stage. With the defense closed, everyone is waiting for the judgment date. Some believe this could end years of back and forth. Others fear it could open a new wave of protests.
In the streets of major cities, particularly in the southeast, activists are mobilizing. You can see the signs, small gatherings, peaceful marches, and online campaigns calling for what they describe as justice and freedom. Meanwhile, inside Aso Rock, aides to the president are said to be reviewing reports and advising on possible outcomes. The political class is watching too. Many know that whatever happens next could influence Nigeria's political temperature.
A calm resolution would boost the image of the government as firm but fair. A stormy one could deepen division. To understand why this case matters so much, we need to remember its roots. Nnamdi Kanu has long pushed for a referendum on self-determination for the Igbo-speaking Southeast. His organization, IPOB, was proscribed by the government years ago after several clashes and violent incidents. Since then, Kanu's voice has been both a symbol of frustration and a lightning rod for controversy. His arrest abroad and return to Nigeria triggered outrage, court battles, and endless political arguments. The current phase under Justice Omotosho is the latest chapter in that long and complicated journey. Observers say the way the government handles this moment will send a message about Nigeria's democracy. Will the rule of law be followed to the letter? Will the judiciary stand firm against external pressure? And will the presidency manage the political temperature without letting it boil over? These are the questions shaping the tension today. Now, about the talk that America has joined the fight, let's be careful with what that really means. Legal observers from the United States often monitor international human rights cases. That's part of global advocacy, but some Nigerian commentators have read it as a full-blown political involvement. That's not confirmed. Still, the optics are powerful. The idea that a superpower is watching Nigeria's courtroom proceedings sends ripples through diplomatic and political circles. For President Tinubu, the challenge is multi-layered. He has promised reforms, stability, and unity.
But every headline about unrest or international criticism tests his administration's image. Opposition figures are using the moment to question his leadership. Supporters of Kanu are demanding dialogue, and ordinary citizens just want peace and fairness. It's a storm of opinions, and everyone is talking. If you're still watching, you're one of the people who truly want to understand the bigger picture, so thank you. Please take 1 second to like this video and subscribe. It really helps this platform grow. Let's talk about Justice Omotosho himself. The judge is known to be strict with procedure, but calm in demeanor. In court, he has emphasized that he will not allow distractions. His courtroom has become one of the most heavily covered in the country. Cameras wait outside every day. Journalists sit quietly, and legal analysts dissect every word he says. For many Nigerians, he symbolizes how the judiciary stands at the crossroads between public expectation and the technical rules of law. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu remains in custody, but his health and well-being have been subjects of debate. His lawyers continue to speak to the media, insisting that he deserves fair treatment and immediate release. Government lawyers insist the charges are serious and that the court should finish the trial before any decisions about release are made. Behind the scenes, you can sense the anxiety. Diplomats, lawmakers, traditional leaders, everyone is whispering. Some are calling for political negotiation. Others warn that it would set a bad precedent. Every side has a point, but the nation needs balance. In the wider picture, the Kanu case touches not just law, but emotion, identity, and history. It reminds many of how Nigeria is still working to heal old wounds and build genuine trust among regions. That's why the world is watching. That's why headlines like "Tension in Aso Rock" carry so much weight. People also ask, what happens if the court gives a final judgment soon? Will it bring closure or open another round of appeals? Most likely, whatever the decision, both sides will still head for higher courts. That means the story is far from over. But what everyone hopes is that the process remains peaceful. As you reflect on all this, please like this video and subscribe.
It might seem small, but your click tells the algorithm that you value calm, responsible reporting, and that helps us reach more people who are tired of fake news. The coming weeks will be crucial. There could be more court filings, more public statements, maybe even responses from international bodies, and the presidency will have to keep a steady hand. President Tinubu has weathered several political storms already, but this one touches emotions as deep as they come. The eyes of the nation are on how he and his team handle it. If you were sitting inside Aso Rock today, you would feel the tension in the air, phone calls, briefings, updates, analysis. Everyone knows that one wrong statement or misunderstanding could trigger a chain reaction online and offline. It is a test of communication and leadership. In the meantime, Nigerians want answers. They want peace. They want fairness. And they want the rule of law to mean the same thing for everyone. That is the heart of this whole issue. Whether you support Kanu or not, the question remains, how do we ensure justice without politics taking over the courtroom? So as we continue to watch, let's all stay calm. Let's respect one another's opinions, and let's insist on facts over rumors. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think the government should consider dialogue at this stage? Or should the court simply continue to the end and let the verdict speak for itself? Keep your comments respectful and constructive. That's how we build better conversations online. Please like this video and subscribe right now so you can follow the next update. We'll be tracking every development carefully and bringing you the facts, not the drama.